Hello family, welcome back to the channel. I hope all of you guys are healthy and safe and well. We are back here with another video. If you are not subscribed, pause the video and press subscribe down below. Along with that, hit the bell notifications link so you know when a new video is going live. I am very pregnant, so we don't really have a schedule right now, so just make sure you guys sign up for notifications so you know when stuff is happening. You know, like new videos, maybe a birth vlog, because that may go live before things are posted. We just never know. We never know. So make sure you guys are signed up for notifications. Okay, so today is more of like a chit chat video. I've had a few questions on Instagram of just like how I'm planning for postpartum and like what will I do differently and things like that. So I thought it would be cool to just do a full out video on just how I'm planning and how I'm expecting for postpartum to go. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Long story short, I have no idea how postpartum is going to go. It could go so many different ways, but as someone who struggles with anxiety and just kind of already has a lot going on, I know that I mentally do better when I plan. So when I plan for different things, even if it's planning for 17 different ways that things can go, the fact that I've already thought it through and have some sort of out is good for me. I'm not really good when things are sprung up on me. That's something that motherhood is slowly teaching me more, that you can't control everything. But for me, if I just have some sort of plan, I do pretty well. So that being said, when I had Harper, I planned to have help from my mom and my family and friends, my tribe. I told them I have no idea what this is going to be like. I've never been a mom before. So moral of the story is I just need you to be there. I need you to be ready if I say this is too much, or if I crumble, or if I have an anxious period, whatever the case may be. That is something that I told my family ahead of time. I may need you. I also told them that, or reminded them, because they already knew this, that I struggle asking for help. So if you see me struggling, please just jump in and just take over and do whatever. You don't have to worry about me being like, oh, this is my kid, I got it, or whatever. Obviously, I've had those moments, but I basically told them to ignore me and just move forward with whatever they think will help. So the first thing that I'm doing as far as planning for postpartum this time is reiterating that to them. So telling them there are going to be times where I am at capacity. I am at my limit. I've never had two humans solely depending on me, obviously their dad. But when you're the mom, they depend on you for a lot, especially the younger that they are. So basically just reiterating to them that I am a little bit better with asking for help, but I still have issues here and there. So please just prepare to jump in whenever, at any point, or if you see me struggling or starting to get flustered or whatever, like I need help. I may have trouble asking for it. I'm learning, but I'm not all the way there yet. So please feel free to jump in, grab a kid, grab the dishes, straighten up, whatever, like do whatever you need to do, and don't worry about me wanting to do it all. Along with that, I had a postpartum doula last time. I will have one this time, but in a different capacity. So last time my postpartum doula came during the daytime, a couple of days a week, I think 3 or 4 days a week, and just helped out with the lift in the house. So making sure that I had time to shower and that my laundry and baby's laundry was done, folding and putting away things, cooking meals and meal prepping and things like that in the house, making sure that I had, she was also a lactation consultant, so making sure that I had, you know, good snacks and things that kept my supply up. This time, I will have a postpartum doula / a night nurse. So she will not be here during the day. She will be here during the nighttime. I learned during my first or round one as a mom that I am not someone who can function without sleep. And those first couple weeks and months really started to add up, and I started to feel a little bit crazy. And I feel like if I hadn't had, my mom was here on some nights, but I also kind of helped a lot because I felt bad that she wasn't getting her night's rest. So I went the route of hiring someone to come for a few nights a week to just make sure Corey and I are getting our sleep. He also isn't someone who can really operate on no sleep. So after seeing that that was an issue for us, I wanted to correct that this time. Even if it's just a couple nights rest, we're just not going insane, not having slept for weeks or months at a time. So that's something that I have invested in. and made sure that we can get at least a couple nights a week uninterrupted sleep. And I'm really, really excited for that, because I feel like a lot of my anxiety and just snappiness, along with, you know, postpartum brings a lot of hormones, but I feel like if I would have had better night's rest, I wouldn't have kind of had the episodes that I had, or just felt as overwhelmed and just like, I don't know what's going on, but I feel like I'm losing my mind. So in efforts of combating that, I hired a postpartum doula / night nurse who will take care of baby Zoo a couple nights a week so that we can get our night's rest. Another thing that I am doing is not pressuring myself with breastfeeding. So I know that that's also something that kind of really got me in or very close to postpartum depression. Just trying to do it all and live up to everything that I'm seeing, not online, but just like, even just everyone's like, yeah, you know, breastfeeding is best for baby, like do it for as long as you can, and you know, they won't get sick as much, and like basically sacrificing myself for, you know, the needs of the baby, which I'll still do that, but just not to the degree that I did last time. So I have a lot on my plate. I have a million and one things going, multiple businesses, and just I want to be able to mentally be a good mom. So I am not pressuring myself with, you have to breastfeed for the first year. You go as long as you can mentally go, and when you don't, it's fine, because you did your best as a mom. And that also leads into me not thinking that I need to be all things to my kids. I will be prioritizing self-care and taking care of JaLisa this time around, and making sure that I am good so that I can be good to myself, which in turn makes me good to those around me. So making sure that my needs are met, making sure that I get the alone time that I need, not thinking that I have to do everything for both kids and for my husband and things like that, allowing people to help and take over certain capacities so that I don't feel burdened with them. That's also something huge that I'm doing this time around, because I think for Harper's first year of her life, I was like, I have to excel in business, and I have to be the best wife ever, and I have to be the best mom ever, and I have to do everything for everybody around me and just do all this, which in turn took a toll on me because I was not serving myself at all, which then I started snapping out, and then I started, you know, feeling certain ways about myself, when if I just would have taken care of myself and met my needs first, it wouldn't have been a domino effect, you know. So that, I also will be hiring a chef, which we've used a chef for the last maybe 6 months or so, just coming in a couple nights a week to cook. But I've also learned that like making sure my family is fed. I told you guys I was in labor, and I was like trying to make sure everybody else ate mid-contraction. So I've learned that that's something that like as a caretaker and as a nurturer, by like that's just who I am. In order for that burden to be lifted, if it's taken care of by someone else and I plan ahead of time, that's just something that I won't have to think about and will be taken off my plate. So I will be hiring a chef to come in, do some meal prepping, do some nights of dinners, and maybe even prepping Harper's lunch for the next couple of days, now that that's also something that's on my plate. Anything I can take off of my plate is what I'm doing this time around, just to ensure that, you know, I don't have all the burdens in the world, just a few. And the main one will be making sure that I heal properly, and that I take time for myself, and that I treat myself well as everyone else around me. So that's important as well.
How are you preparing Harper for a sibling?
Well, for one, I've kind of utilized my tribe a lot with that, my online community, and asking for anybody who has 2 under 2, how do you do that? I know, for instance, my midwife has told me that I need to start now practicing not always coming to her rescue, because I will forever do that every day of my life, no matter if I have a million kids or one, but just slowly teaching her a little bit more patience. And I've been doing that, and like she even knows when I say patience, Harper, and she goes, okay, and she like slows down, she stops fussing. So kind of just implementing those things. I also have not only had this conversation with my husband, but a lot of the people who are with us on a regular, like after Zuri gets here, please make sure you always still greet Harper first. The biggest fear I have in this whole thing, labor doesn't scare me, birth doesn't scare me, pregnancy doesn't scare me. The only anxiety that I've had about this whole thing is Harper feeling pushed aside. So basically making sure that all of my loved ones know that that is like the forefront of my mind. Like I've thought about that more than I've even thought about having a second child and not wanting her to feel pushed aside or as if, you know, she's second, you know, to anything or anyone. So basically just showing her that we love you both the same and you are still the apple of our eye, both of you are, and making sure that obviously she's not going to get the same level of attention, but when we do spend time and when we do, you know, hang out and do things, it is very intentional and we are very present and all of that kind of stuff. So I've already planned now that she's in school, you know, that's when I'll have mommy time and that's when I'll have Zuri time. But when she comes home from school, those hours are Harper time and they are Harper time only. So if somebody has to take baby and do whatever, but she is the priority during those hours, especially since she's away from home for so many hours of the day. That's something that I am like going to be a stickler about. So working is done. Like it is about Harper the second that she gets home from school, because I just don't want her to feel, I don't want her to feel left out or like this new baby came and it's all about her. No one cares about me anymore, because that's a crappy feeling. And I don't know if it's PTSD or what. I didn't feel like that with my little brother, but just I think any human who feels pushed aside, like that's something that sticks with you. So I don't want her to feel that way.
What are ways that you are like planning for 2 under 2 where people have like mentioned to you to be considerate or concerned or just mindful of?
I think, so obviously we've been showing her and telling her that like there's a baby coming. We got her a whole bunch of dolls around the house for her to like kind of practice, and she knows the word gentle and she knows what we mean by being gentle. At school they say that she like nurtures all the little babies, which is so funny because here she's like Queen Bee and doesn't care. But at school, apparently she's very nurturing and gentle with all the kids. So we'll just take that. They basically also were telling me, like my friends in tribe and online, to be gracious with myself, because I'm not going to be able to give them both 100% every single day. So kind of just being gracious with myself and allowing things to go however they go for that day. You're going to feel discouraged. You're going to feel like you did more for this one on some days and vice versa. So I think the biggest thing is just being gracious on myself and being patient until we get into a rhythm. That is what I personally, because of the things that I struggle with, that's what I've been whipping into my head. You can't be everything to everybody. I'm not going to be able to give Harper, Zuri, Corey, the team, my friends, my family, everybody 100% of me all the time, and I need to be okay with that. So that's kind of the biggest thing that I have been in therapy talking about, wrapping my head around and all of that. Also, I've been like looking up different things and activities that I can do with both of them. And someone actually got me a book that was like horizontal parenting or something, that basically gives you a bunch of activities and things to do on the ground. So like obviously after I heal, I'm not going to be able to be whipping up and picking up all the kids and doing whatever. So trying to find things that I can do one-on-one with both of them, but also together as a family where they can also get to know each other, because that's going to be something in itself. I do plan on getting Harper a gift from Zuri for when she's born. A lot of parents have said that that helps them hate the new sibling a little bit less. So I don't know what I'm gonna get. Queen Bee will be getting a gift from her baby sister, and we're gonna hope that that helps her like her a little bit more. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, it was a bit of a just chit chat of like where my mind is at with 2 under 2. Like I said, I'm not nervous about labor, birth, pregnancy, any of that stuff. I think coming home, when I come home with a second child, I'm gonna literally just sit in the middle of the floor like, okay, so what now? That's kind of what I'm thinking. But again, parenting has taught me that we're all just winging it. We're all just figuring it out. No one truly knows what they're doing at all. And everyone runs their household so differently. So that also provides some solace with, we're gonna do whatever works for our family. And that's it. If nobody else in the whole universe does it, that's fine. But this is what works for this Jefferson house, and this is how we're gonna do it. And just like with the way that we run our lives and our household in general, we do what we want, and that's just that. We're gonna do the same thing. So that does provide a little bit of solace just with, we winging it. My husband is brushing his teeth and he's hawking in the background. And Shayma's dying as well in the back. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you're following on Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. I love you guys. Peace out.